Let's bring in from House Foreign Affairs, Florida Congresswoman Maria Salazar. Congresswoman, great to see you. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Do you think House Republicans are now unified to do the Trump agenda? Because Congressman Mike Lawler told us last night you got just 2 years before the midterms to fix America. Are they all unified now to get it done?
We are, and today is the glorious day. We are so happy. God has been merciful on us and on Mike Johnson. He's the right guy. Like you said, he's a decent guy. He will compromise, and he is going to what we need to do, what the American public told us, the Trump agenda. He won by the popular vote. So thank God that we're going to start doing it starting Monday.
Okay, so voters gave President Trump a mandate for sweeping reform. Can House lawmakers package all of President Trump's reform in what he calls one big, beautiful bill, the budget reconciliation bill? That means you could bypass Senate Democrats with just a 51 simple majority vote in the Senate. Can you get one bill done?
We can, and we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. We're all going to get together into one room, and we're going to talk about what reconciliation is going to look like. But reconciliation is basically two things: sealing the border and making the tax cuts permanent. And I'm voting for the tax cuts because the tax cuts, and I have the numbers here, 70% of Americans in the package that we have in place right now, that we're making less than $50,000. They made $5,000 more, and 6 million people were lifted out of poverty. That only happened in 4 years. So we got to make those tax cuts permanent, and that is why we need reconciliation. So we in the Senate only have 51 or 52 votes, and then we can make it the law of the land. We got to work on that and on border.
You think all the Republicans are going to get that done? Because, you know, tax bills notoriously have a lot of give and take and a lot of pork barrel rolling in it to get what people want. Can you get the tax cut? It's a $5 trillion, $4 trillion tax hike if those Trump tax cuts expire.
Well, they are on the books, and like I said, they helped the American people ever since. And they're going to now in 2025. We need to make them permanent. And I know that the New York delegation has an issue with some tax breaks that they want to put on the books. But I am sure, and this is the spirit that I can share with you, within the House, the GOP members of the House of Representatives, we know we have one mandate, which is to implement Trump's policies, what he promised, what he told the American people he was going to do. We are his party, so we need to be siding with him and speeding this through the next 2 years so we can show the American people that they send us here for something, not to be just playing around. And that's what we were fearing today, but thank God it did not happen. One round, one speaker is done.
Okay, so it sounds like there is unity, because if it's not one big, beautiful reconciliation bill, it's going to require really complex maneuvers to overcome Democrat filibusters in the Senate. So you do need unity. You do need political dexterity. You know, American voters are done. They're done with Biden and Democrat gaslighting, especially on inflation. Inflation's transitory, blaming corporate greed, then pandemic lockdowns, price gouging, blaming meat producers, farmers, grocery stores, you name it, but not the more than $82 trillion in spending over the last 10 years. That's eating up nearly 25% of U.S. GDP. So are all Republicans on board with cutting waste, cutting government overspending, embracing Musk? Because we've got far-left Democrats. Now the game plan is attack Musk, attack Vivek Ramaswamy. That's going to be the distraction.
No, the Doge caucus, and I'm part of it. We're all the 200+ members of Congress that belong to the GOP. We all know that we got to do what you just mentioned in 2 years, because that is what the American people are demanding. I repeat, Trump won the popular vote. That's the best message that anyone can be sending, that they want that done. And the anti-wokeness and the border and the inflation. We got to be patching all those holes that the Democrats left for 4 years. Now is the time, and I assure you that we know that very clearly.
Congresswoman Salazar, Emmy Award-winning journalist, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year.
Wonderful. To you too, Lizzie. My
love. Sure.